Hey, what's what's going on, everybody? I hope you guys are having a good day. I am. Let me see. I'm looking at this. Uh, I'm looking at these messages that I'm getting today. Give me one second. Let me shut this all down. I was gonna go live. I was actually gonna bring in my friend Charles Wu because Charles, Charles has done said some stuff that I think he's got an answer for. He said some things about the way he does marketing that I think uh, really deserve an explanation. These are things that I didn't know about. I was not aware of. And in fact, I'm going to just go ahead and lay it out here and let you guys kind of check out some of the stuff that somebody sent me. Because the last thing I just saw was sort of like, what the fuck is this? I know most of y'all don't even know what the Charles Wu controversy is, but I figured I would just let you guys know. Basically, the Charles Wu controversy is the fact that we worked with a person who was one person out of about 25 or 30 who wasn't black. And he said some stuff that requires an explanation, to say the least. Let me just say that. It requires an explanation because, it's sort of like, it was really hard for me to kind of process what he might have meant, what he was really trying to say, why he would say that, say the things he said. And so what I thought I would do is kind of dissect some of the thinking. I'm a big believer that honesty is the best policy on pretty much everything. And I know that, at the end of the day, when you go through stuff like this, just so you know, some people believe you, some people don't. Some people want to believe in advance that you had ulterior motives or that you were seeking to be harmful. But those are typically people that just, unfortunately, they just kind of hate what you do anyway. They're going to hate you regardless. So really, in general, I'll talk to those people too, but really the people I'm talking to are the ones who are more open-minded, who actually really want to know what's going on, as opposed to those who have a preconceived agenda. So in a way, it's a little bit like being a Democrat speaking to Republicans. If you're a Democrat and you're speaking to Republicans, they're never going to like anything that you say. So lazy-minded Negroes ain't gonna get it. Black people who hate, economic empowerment and what we try to do aren't gonna get it. People that have always decided for whatever reason that they just dislike what we do, they're not gonna get it. So this is really for the people that want to get it, that are kind of like, well, I don't understand, like, what's going on? Can you explain that? And so, basically, the controversy came down to Charles doing something again that was not to my knowledge. I didn't know any of this stuff was happening, but he was doing some marketing videos, and he was talking about, the way he works with clients. We were one of his clients, and basically, like Tiffany Aliche, the Budgetnista, she has a marketing expert. We have our marketing experts. Some of them are black, some of them are not black. Or one of them, Charles, was the one that wasn't black. And Charles is not a bad dude. Like, Charles is actually pretty cool. But the thing about it is, I think he has a few things he has to figure out in terms of how to say things in a way that doesn't sound crazy, right? And so, anyway, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the drama, but somebody told me I should answer for it, and because I respect the people that hang out with me every day, I am going to answer for it. And the reason I'm okay with answering for it is because I don't have anything to hide. I'm very consistent with my work. I believe everything I say. I stand by every single word that's been uttered out of my mouth. And I stand and speak firmly against those who somehow believe that, every black man like myself who wants to do something for the community must be some sort of puppet for the white man. That's not me. Maybe that's you. Maybe you work in a factory every day and you have a white man that tells you what to do. Maybe you have been indoctrinated into white liberalism or white conservatism. I don't do that. I've always been black. I've always fought to be independent in the black community, and that's what I'm always going to believe in. Now, let me hop in here and address some of this stuff. I see Kathy Henry's here. I don't know why Kathy Henry's hanging out. You don't even like me, Kathy. See, Kathy, don't be in here trolling now. If you're here to be troll, if you're here to troll, go. Okay, you can troll. I deserve to be trolled today. So if you're here to troll, please troll away. Like, let me hang myself on the cross and just throw the darts, throw them in my, throw them at me, because I deserve it. I deserve it for the fact that it comes with the territory. When you're the person in charge, which I am, you have to take responsibility for things that happen under your watch. And so what I want to do is I want to show you a clip of a video that Charles did where he was talking to somebody about marketing. And Charles is actually, just so you know, anybody in the Black Business School who has ever started a class on how to start a business knows that we're heavy on teaching you that in order for your business to go, you have to have a marketing person, and you just have to make sure that they're ethical. And you know, and now this conversation, I think it does kind of skirt the lines of ethics. And I think that what has occurred, and this is something that I mentioned before, as I said, we got to keep everything straight up and clean, or I have enemies that literally hate everything I do, like Yvette Carnell, who just literally want to see something destroyed. She can't build anything better, but she wants to see what we have destroyed. So we can't go around and make people think that we're doing this Black economic empowerment thing for fun. Now, the reason that I'm comfortable talking about this is because my track record speaks for itself. You know, I've been doing this for 10 years. I met Charles Wu about a year ago. I met him about a year ago, maybe a year and a half. I've been doing this for 10 years, you know, and so what people are going to do is they're going to twist it. I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. We just go look for it. This is what they're going to do. They're going to take it and make it sort of like, because they don't know a world where white people or Asian people aren't controlling Black people. They can't comprehend the idea that this person, he answers to me, that everybody that works with me answers to me. And so they're going to twist it into, oh, this Asian guy's telling Boyce what to say, or everything that Boyce has said is not true. So what they want to do is sort of chip away at the core of the authenticity of the message. You know, I believe what I say. I would take a bullet for it. I gave every penny for it, even back when I was paying Yvette Carnell tens of thousands of dollars over the course of several years. I was damn near bankrupt trying to make sure she got her money. So those are facts that people don't know about, things that people don't talk about. So even as people criticize me, most people can't say that their greatest enemies are people that they actually helped and supported and elevated and put on and gave them money when they didn't have any money and helped them out. I've never received a check from her, not one single time, but I've written her many checks. My assistant can attest to this. And believe me, when my bank account was back in the red, I made sure she still got her money. So let me show you this video. It's a great video, actually, very creative. And again, I deserve it. I mean, if you don't throw darts, please just, it's a good time to do that because after this is done, I'm gonna keep moving. But I kind of think it's fine. I mean, I think it's okay. We deserve it because we totally fucked up. So here's this video. So check it out. You know, guys, I was thinking about something that kind of drives me crazy. You ever notice how we have a whole lot of people in the Black community that can tell you all day that it's hard being Black? They can tell you all day that you don't have a lot of power. They can tell you all day that you ain't got no wealth. But when you ask them, well, how do we get power? How do we get wealth? All they can do is say, well, join our organization. So I'm going to dissect the video as we go through it. First and foremost, you know, everything I say out of my mouth is something that I believe, is something that I mean. I'm not bullshitting you when I say things. You know, I'm not trying to, I've never, you can go back actually 20 years. I started writing on behalf of the Black community when I was 25 years old. I stand by every word that's ever come out of my mouth. I think, is it offensive that somebody would sort of belittle that and say, oh, well, the only way somebody could be speaking on Black empowerment is if they don't believe it or if they're using it to somehow milk Black people? The answer is no. The reason I take issue with some of that is because it is a little offensive, you know, when you say something from the heart and somebody interprets that as, oh, you were just trying to milk people. You can't fake that. Like, you can't fake 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 hours worth of video where you're going hard and speaking on issues that have caused you to lose a lot of friends. I have a lot of famous friends that do not speak to me. Not famous friends, famous people that won't mess with me because I've called out things that I've seen on behalf of the people. And I stand by that, you know. And so, you know, I think that, you know, while it's easy to believe, I mean, what people want to believe is that is too good to be true. That there's no way that this guy could actually be authentic, that there's no way he could be real and legit in what he's saying. And that's just not the case. In fact, you know, what I'll say is that the issue that we always had was that we were fighting for Black people who felt that somehow anytime you have a product and you sell that product to Black people, that somehow you must be robbing Black people. And that's what broke ass people like Yvette Carnell say, because Yvette Carnell lives in a mama's basement. She doesn't have any money. So ultimately people like that look at you and say, oh, you must be a vulture. But my thinking is very different. I'm not a capitalist, but I believe in free enterprise. Free enterprise basically says that, you know, we have to have a business. And if we're selling the same stuff that the white man's selling at his university, then why can't we charge at least 10% of what he charges? Why is it that when we charge $200 or $300 for something that he charges $3,000 for, even black people, certain black people want to say that, oh, you must be a crook. One thing I can do for you guys is I can read a long list, and I can copy and paste this in here, of nothing but numerous customer satisfaction results where our customers, we've told our customers, look, if you're not happy with with what you have bought in the Black Business School, then you shouldn't be here. I just copied and pasted that in there, and it's pinned. I'm gonna pin it to the top so you guys can look at that. And we have thousands more where that came from. We have thousands and thousands of very happy people. So my question to you is this: if Black people are spending money with us, and we take no shame in the fact that we created far more Black jobs than Yvette Carnell or anybody else can ever create, the question is, are we doing anything illegal? You know, white folks create businesses all the time where they are constantly, you know, they have businesses with a cause. You know, Starbucks believes in saving the environment. They believe in fighting for gay rights, but they also believe in making a profit. So we are a company that believes in standing up for Black people, but we also want to make a profit so that we can expand, so that we can educate more Black people, so we can expand the company, create jobs. When you have Black folks that only know how to destroy and don't know how to build anything, then that's pretty much what you're kind of up against on a regular basis. Now, I'm not here to defend. I'm gonna keep playing more of that video because I want to lay it out here on the motherfucking table. It's like, okay, let's just lay it out here. Let's just really, really talk. That's why I'm not holding nothing back when I bring up Yvette's name. I could tell you a lot of stuff about Yvette and her white girlfriend and her, you know, her liberal, you know, agenda and all this other stuff if I wanted to be a jerk. But actually, I will be a jerk because at the end of the day, when you talk about, you know, what we're trying to do something that is helping a lot of people. So when you come in and you're seeking to destroy, don't think that I can't get as in the dirt as you are in terms of telling you, like, you know, if you come in and you're attacking what's good in the Black community, then you have no business here. In fact, I welcome those who come in and want to troll the YouTube channel, those who want to troll the Facebook page, because what you're doing is you're pretty much telling on yourself. You're telling us that you don't have anything productive happening in your own life, to the point where all you're doing is you're destroying anything that Black business owners try to build. So anybody who's a Black business owner, you know, it's you know, I hope you understand what I'm talking about. You know, you're gonna have those Negroes who are just like, anything you do, if you do any marketing, oh, it must be a scam. You do any sort of a promotional activity, oh, it must be a scam. You raise capital and you charge money for a product, oh, it must be a scam. And a lot of that comes from Black people seeing ourselves as a charity case. We're not a charity case. Why is it that you can spend money at the comedy club but can't spend money on education? That doesn't make any sense. And so Trinity says, Yvette, we see through your BS. Stop it. Well, you know, and I'm not, and I don't really want to make it about one person per se, but if you really want to know, I mean, there is one person, Yvette, and that's a person I have helped beyond measure. I have never had anybody give me up to $60,000, $70,000 to build my brand. I have receipts to prove that I have been given, that I gave Yvette thousands and thousands of dollars just to write articles. You know, when I was writing articles, wasn't nobody paying me nothing. I let her use my YouTube channel, you know, and she disrespected Louis Farrakhan on my YouTube channel, which made me look stupid because you shouldn't be letting people use your YouTube channel. But you know, my friends were like, "Oh, Boyce, you're being too nice. Don't let somebody like that use your channel because they're going to embarrass you." Well, in a way, that's what happened. So, you know, I will say that my weakness is that in my life, I will admit I've trusted the wrong people. I don't have a regret for being a nice person. I'm always going to be a nice person. But if I was to count up how many times I had a Black person scam me or screw me because I was nice to them, I could be counting all day. But at the same time, I'm also a believer that the more love you give to the world, the more love comes back to you. So I could tell you there are a whole lot of people that I know who love me because I showed love to them. There are a lot of people who are loyal to me for life because I helped them out when times were dark. You know, and so at the end of the day, you know, I basically wanted to just lay this out here and just be real with you. And actually, Farrakhan was one of the people that inspired me to kind of do this. I mean, even my own team didn't even advise me to do this. They kind of had their own strategy, but I was like, no, like, I want to do what Farrakhan did. You know, when everybody was talking about Farrakhan and his issue with Malcolm X and what happened there, he went to Malcolm X College and gave a speech. He said, "I'm in the belly of the beast to give my point of view." Now, whether you accept that or not is up to you. But the fact that he did that showed courage. It showed manhood. So let me finish showing you guys more of this video because I want you guys to see more of this video. It's actually pretty entertaining. I mean, you know, if you really are seeking to go after somebody, he did a pretty good job. So let me show you the video. Let me see here. All right. So let's see. Hold on, guys. Let me pull this up. All right. Let's see. Here it is. Okay, there we go. All right. So let's play some more. You gotta love the music. It's like cartoon music. I think that's great.
You know, like for example, I worked with Kevin Liles. I don't know if you know who he is. Him and his brother Tony Austin. Kevin Liles was the former Def Jam guy. He was like, I think it was like Puff Daddy or you know, like yeah, like if, you know, I've done a lot in the African American market. That's just a niche that I've done a lot with.
Right.
But like the reason why.
Okay, so that's obviously a reason to, you know, that's a point of contention, right? As Charles describes the African American market as a niche. On one hand, you could say that, you know, that I see myself as more than a niche. I see the Black community as more than a niche. That's the only area I want to be in. But at the same time, I will say that when people ask me what niche is your business in, I've said I'm in the African American niche. That's my market. That's who I talk to. I don't really talk to anybody else. I can walk down the street in London and all the white people walk right past me, but there's a good chance that if a Black person sees me and they're even remotely conscious, they're going to know who I am, right? So that use of the word niche, I think probably caused Charles a lot of issues because I think that for a person who's not Black, who's been hired to work on products in the Black consumer market, which it happens all the time. The Black Panther, the people at Marvel that are putting out the movie Black Panther, in their mind, they're thinking, we're going to market this to the African American niche. You know, BET is a company that is marketed to the African American niche. Now, the difference between, say, our company and BET is that the final decisions are made by me. The final decisions are made by Black people. So if Charles wants to try something, we are the gatekeepers. We're the ones who say yay or nay. It's not as if he's the person that would tell us what to do because our companies are 100% completely Black owned. And that's as clear as I can be on that part. So anyway, like I said, I'm really kind of answering questions for those who have legitimate questions, not for those who, you know, not for those who've already made their mind up. Those who made your mind up, you're kind of wasting your time by being here, but you should stay because actually the fact that you're here shows that we're having an impact with our work. So please hang out, keep and troll away if you want to. All right. So here
I ask is this also goes into, you know, if there was an initial thought, you know, what you've done is impressive, but depending on who you're talking to, you know, when you say I made 50 grand a year selling music, like if I'm someone like Kevin Liles and I'm signing like Run DMC and do you see what I mean? Like if I'm at that level, I hear that and I'm like 50 grand, that's what we spend on just like, you know, we will give away 50 grand at a concert because we're trying to like show the Mo Money rapper thing.
Mo money, mo money, mo
you
money.
need to show that you're not like a poser. You know what I mean? So like you can talk, you know, you maybe like, and don't spend too much time, but you know, you can talk about that sort of stuff. Like one of the examples that I use, like I said, I mentioned I'm doing a lot in the African American space.
Okay, so now I don't really understand exactly why they went to the mo money, mo money, mo money image when he said that, but because y'all know some of these rappers are some motherfucking coons. Like y'all know that some of these rappers are as ignorant as they come, as stupid as they come, as self-destructive as they come, as genocidal as they come. And so what he's really seeing honestly, and we've talked about this, about, you know, the Black community and understanding the differences in the community. He's seen, you know, when he came in, he was asking me a lot of things about Black people to try to understand. He went to hang out in barbershops. He went to the All Black National Convention. He went to, you know, he stayed at my parents' house actually. And his goal was to understand Black people. And one of the things that I picked up on was he, like a lot of people, they only see images of you that are portrayed in your media. the media that you support, you know. So ultimately, all these rappers that are put out here to the world, it's making people see us in a specific way. So I think that for him, he was like, well, I'm a marketer. I'm hired to do my job as a marketer. You're a rapper. Apparently rappers are into ignorant stuff like giving money away. His family doesn't do that. His family actually is big on education. And so I'll just help you do whatever it is you want to do. So literally, that's the interesting, you know, dynamic here. I don't even know. Again, I think that when somebody does a video like this, their goal is to be sinister and negative. Their goal is not to be objective and to be truth seeking, right? They're seeking to paint whatever picture they've chosen to paint, almost the way the Republicans want to paint Barack Obama in a certain way. When Donald Trump hated Barack Obama, there's nothing Obama could say or do that would make Trump or Dinesh D'Souza portray him in a positive light. So whoever made this video, it's a very politicized kind of hit video where they want to make the conclusion before you make the decision. And so, you know, that's kind of what you're getting. But ultimately, there was nothing about that particular segment that I found to be troubling or problematic. But there is some stuff in here that I think deserves a deeper discussion. So let's keep going. Let's keep on talking about this. And I want to answer 1,000,001 questions because I really think I've always believed honesty is the best policy. So let's keep going.
And we are selling, you know, you say you're one song away, you know, we're basically selling against racism, and we're trying to sell entrepreneurship for African Americans. Like, you should look at this path.
Okay. So what Charles is saying right there, let me just kind of give you my take on that. When we've had conversations, when we've talked about marketing with the whole team, you know, Charles is just one of many people we've worked with. He's not the only one. But one of the things that we let them know is that the main thing that we believe in is the Black Core of Three. The Black Core of Three means that we believe Black people should educate our own children. We should create our own jobs. We should support Black businesses. And so what I told him was, I said, we have a really hard time persuading Black people. Black people get marketed to all the time, and they're being sold things like cigarettes, malt liquor, hip hop albums, and movies. We want to use equally powerful marketing tactics to be able to persuade Black people to want to invest in their education. We want to convince every Black family in this world, in this country, and then eventually in this world, that financial literacy and wealth building should be the most important thing in their household. We want to convince every Black parent that watches us, by any means necessary, we want to convince those families that their child by the age of 8 should know how to start a business, because if they don't teach their little boy, their little son, how to start a business, he's going to grow up and become a grown man, and he's going to end up getting his butt kicked by racism. He's going to be just like his parents are. His parents are trapped right now. His parents hate their job. His parents are dying to get off the corporate plantation. His parents are being mistreated. So we have the Black Wealth Boot Camp to help you get off the corporate plantation, which was in existence long before I met Charles. We also have the Black Business School, which teaches everything you need to know about culturally authentic wealth building practices and principles, which is better than what you would pay $100,000 for in college. And so, you know, the key idea here for sure is that if you don't think that the university you went to wasn't using cutting edge marketing techniques to convince you to go to their school and pay $200,000, you're out of your mind. They brand to you all the time. They market to you all the time. They're selling to you all the time. But the difference is that I said, I don't mind selling as long as it's a product that doesn't need to be sold. I don't think freedom has to be sold. I don't think I got to persuade you to want to improve your life. But what I do have to do is make sure I can explain to you in a way that's crystal clear why it's better for you to be financially literate than it is for you to be financially illiterate. I need to help you understand why it's better if your child knows how to start a business by the age of 8 than it is for them to only learn how to get a job at the age of 25 so they can end up out here getting their butts kicked by white supremacy. So ultimately, everything that so far, honestly, everything that's been said so far is pretty accurate. You know, now for Charles, again, a guy who's not Black, it's a different experience for me. He's not emotionally attached to the plight of the Black community, just the same way I'm not emotionally attached to the plight of the Asian community. But imagine all of you, most of you have worked for white folks at some point in your life, which is one of our biggest problems. And so imagine if you go work for an Asian company or a Jewish company, and they say our goal is to empower the Jewish community. You might not be there because you wouldn't be there because you love Jews and you want to see Jews rise up. You'll be thinking, okay, I'm working in the Jewish niche. I'm working with the Jewish community. I got to spend time around the Jews so I can learn what they need so that I can help my company by doing my job so that they will compensate me at the end of the day. So ultimately, that's pretty much how the transaction goes down. We work extremely hard. I mean, if you're on anywhere on social media, you see that we put a lot of energy into our marketing because BET puts a lot of energy into their marketing. We want to be a media company like BET. When Paramount Pictures, when Disney puts out the Black Panther, they're putting millions of dollars into marketing the Black Panther. Well, the same thing is true here. We put a lot of money into marketing the Black Business School because you can't grow a business without marketing. And Charles was selected because he's one of the best. He's one of the best in the world at what he does. So that's why people were bringing him into seminars and all that stuff. Now, one area where I think Charles did something that I wouldn't agree with, and we talked about this, and he's never going to do this again, is I just said, look, I don't want to be a part of your case study. I don't want you talking about how we do things. This is very personal for me. This is something that I really believe in. I'm not just talking about this stuff just for fun. I'm talking about it because I want to change the world. I want to see the Black community changed for the next 300 years. So here's more of the video. So let's keep watching the brother's video.
Oh, that's cool.
And like our whole thing is, you say you're one song away. We have a more of a negative connotation. We say like you're one white man away. In this case, it's like you're one white man away from, going to jail, getting fired, getting arrested.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We're a little, we might get a little edgy.
Little risque. I love it.
But it converts. But
Yeah,
like one of the things.
So there you go. So that interesting statement. First of all, I've never said you're one white man away. That's something he said. So I can't connect to that idea. I've never said you're one white man away. I think that's kind of that. I don't agree with that. But one of the things that I have always tried to say is that when you talk about trying to get Black folks to do what they need to do, it's really, really hard. It's not hard to get Black people to buy a ticket to a Beyonce concert. It's not hard to get Black folks to buy some new shoes. It's not hard to get Black folks to respond to a crisis, so if they run out of money, you can get them to go get a payday loan. But it's very difficult to help Black people understand the sense of urgency that's necessary for you to be protected in the event that racism hits you on your job. So, while Charles looks at this as an outsider, he's Asian, he's not Black. He doesn't love Black people the way I do. Just like I don't love Asian people the way he loves Asian people. I think that the language was definitely a little bit rough. But at the same time, I think it's a great learning experience because if you want to build a business, you're going to have to learn how to market your product. And the thing about marketing the product is that you're going to have to be able to convince the consumer that your product is worth investing in. Now, the way you do that ethically, though, is you ensure that whatever you sell to them is going to help them and that they're going to be happy they bought it. So in the Black Business School, if you go to the Black Business School, for example, if you look at our Black Millionaires of Tomorrow program for children at blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com, you will see that we have a 30-day 100% money back guarantee. If you go in there and you're not happy with the program, then we don't want your money. We do not want a penny from any Black person who's not going to be happy that they spend money with us. So the definition of a scam artist, in my mind, would be somebody who says, I got your money, haha, I'm not, I got your ass, like that's a scam. A scam is not somebody that sells a quality product at an affordable price. A scam is a university that says, no, you owe us $200,000 in student loans. We don't care that your degree didn't give you a job. We're not giving you your money back. You can't return the degree and get your money back. I want you to go try to do that. I want you to try to go back to your college and say, hey, this degree didn't give me what I wanted. Can I give it back and get my $200,000 back? No, they're not going to do that. And so instead of everything costing $200,000 for our education, it costs $2,000 maybe over the course of a year or something like that. And the difference also is that you're getting better instruction because you're learning from Black PhDs. You're learning from Black professors who are among the world leaders in terms of what they do. Leading experts, Dr. Claude Anderson, Lamar Wilson, the leading cryptocurrency expert, Black cryptocurrency expert in the world. You got Dr. Venetia Dutra, who is a leading expert in financial theory, one of the few Black women on earth to have a PhD in finance. Attorney Tanya Nebo, who does multi-million-dollar franchising deals and teaches how to buy a franchise. Mikai Brown, who's a sales expert. We give you people like that that can help you get an education that's culturally relevant, extremely high quality, applied and activated. Most professors in your business schools do not actually have any experience in business. They've never run a business. Most of them don't know how to start a business. Almost everybody in our school has started some kind of business. Dr. Claude Anderson is coming in, and he's the guy that wrote Powernomics, one of the most pivotal, significant books in the history of this country. In fact, I think it was Ebony Magazine that said that his book is the economic Bible for Black America. He's one of our faculty. So you can't get people like Claude Anderson for nothing. You have to compensate them, or you're going to put them in that same cycle of poverty that the rest of the community puts us in when we want to destroy any Black business owner that's charging a fair price. So ultimately, Dr. Anderson doesn't get the money that he deserves, because you've got Black people who just think, oh no, we don't, that nigga's charging $5. He shouldn't, he needs to starve on the porch. But that same person will go out to the movies and drop $35 like it ain't nothing. And I think that we got to kill that, like that mindset of destroy anything black, let's just kill it, or let's just assume it must be a scam or a fraud or whatever, and let's discredit it as much as possible. That's something that's going to continue to happen. Like, you're always going to have people that are unhappy for whatever reason. You got a lot of miserable Black people out here. But what I've always said is that even as we try to build, and we're not perfect, even as we make missteps, even as we walk in, we might bump into walls and make complete asses of ourselves. At least we're getting out in the ring and getting bloody and trying to do something, right? So the same thing is true with you. When you start building your business, believe me, the way you'll know you're successful is when you start really getting people attacking you on a regular basis. When you have a lot of people that spend their day coming at you and attacking what you're doing, that pretty much says that you've made an impact on the world. And what you do at the end of the day, the way you keep yourself from going crazy, is you remember who you're here for. I know who I'm here for. I'm not here for Yvette Carnell's crew. Like, those people can all go hang out and be broke, like, and do whatever they're going to do and vote for Hillary. Like, whatever it is that they think is going to solve the problem, they can do that. I'm here for the people that want to do something different and do something better. If you talk about the things we've done this past year, we've done so many awesome things. We created the beginnings of what I think will be one of the first Black that I know of Black school systems in the country. We're actually working to bring together African-centered school directors across the country into a database. If you go to teachourownchildren.com, there's an interactive map that shows African-centered schools all across the United States. And what we're trying to do is persuade them to come up with some sort of standardized paradigm that will allow us to develop a school system. And we also are going to promote these schools so that people can enroll their kids, which will elevate the status of these schools economically. We also today, we just announced that the Freedom Home Academy International in Chicago is the first winner of the Felicia T. Couch Academic Achievement Award. We're going to write them a check for $5,000. Now, what I would say to anybody that critiques or that hates what we do or thinks that we're just horrible, evil, scammers, and bad, go write a $5,000 check. Go match what we're doing, and then I'll bow to you. Go do something that's more impactful than what we're doing, and we'll just hold our hands up. Hands up, don't shoot. You got us. You got us. Because, at the end of the day, if all you can do is criticize somebody else's contribution, but you're not making one, then that pretty much shows you to be an absolute fraud in terms of what you're doing. Because we got a lot of Black folks. I mean, you talk about selling hope. I don't like the idea of selling. I'm not big on selling. Again, I will only let you give us money. I'm not going to beg you for a donation. I will only allow you to pay an affordable price for fair quality, high quality product if you feel that it benefits you, right? But if that thing gives you hope, this idea of selling hope, that's not as horrible of a connotation as you might think. Now, the selling part has to occur because in order for businesses to grow, there must be transaction. There must be a sale that occurs. There must be a sales process. Nothing happens until somebody sells something. That's how we're able to help pay the rent of about 25 Black people that work for us, is we got to sell something. Our bills are $130,000 a month. We got to have somebody contribute something. Negroes can't be just watching from the sidelines and wishing us the best. We ask people, hey, can you just pay a little bit for this class? We know it's a lot to ask you to pay $20 for a book, but we'd like you to do that. Or, this class is $89 a month. If you don't like it, then don't do it. But if you like it, we just ask if you give us a little bit of the money that you're giving to white businesses, everywhere. That's the logic. That's my thinking, right? So you go back to the term selling hope, transacting hope. Hope itself is not a bad thing. You see, the reason that the term selling hope is seen with a negative connotation is because most of the hope given to the Black community is false hope. Most of the hope that's given to Black people is hope for things that will never become real. It's hope for a school that is never going to be built. It's hope for a president to go into the White House and make a bunch of changes that he can't possibly make and that he doesn't care enough to make. It's hope that another march, another rally is going to make a difference, and it doesn't. You find that your condition is exactly the same. But hope itself is not supposed to be a bad thing. Hope that is fulfilled can be a beautiful thing, because hope is what gets you up in the morning. Hope is what makes you say, I can do this. Hope is what makes you say, we can win. Like, hope is important. You got to have hope. If you have no hope, then you are dead. You are lost. So hope is what makes me get up and say, if I try, like, hope is what made me make this video, because I was like, you know what? I hope that if I do this video, that I can at least talk to the people who are at least trying to be fair enough to understand where the hell I'm coming from, and they're going to hear what I got to say. So without hope, I wouldn't do this video right now. So hope itself is not a crime. It is hope when it's not followed through. Hope is like a check. It's like writing a check with your words. You write a check. A check is a wonderful thing as long as that son of a bitch is going to get cashed, as long as that check is good. So the reason that hope is seen as a negative thing in the Black community is because so many people sell you false hope. Now, let's go back. Let's talk about this. Let's assume that Boyce is just selling false hope. He's a scam artist, right? The interesting thing about that is that if you look at my track record, see, I don't have a problem with that, because all I say is, like, go look at my track record. You can call me the biggest SOB in the world. You can say I really screwed up, that I really, that I should have known that Charles, made that video, that that I should have tried, a different approach. You can say all of that, but you can't say I haven't been extremely consistent. You can't say that I haven't delivered. I've got about 3,000 students that would be glad to give a very positive testimonial on how being affiliated with what we're doing has changed their life. I can show you where we went to London and the whole place was packed with Black people who lined up out the door saying, can you sign my book? Because the stuff you taught me has changed our family for good. So how can that possibly be false hope? How can that possibly be a scam? Are these people stupid? Are they lying? Are they making it up when they say my daughter's 10 and she knows how to start a business now because she took your program? Is that a lie? Am I a crime? Am I a crook for charging a small fee so I can pay Black families? So y'all don't understand. Back in the days when I was paying Yvette Carnell money, I wasn't putting that money in my pocket. I was in the struggle for real. I had hope, hope that if I continue to invest in my friends and continue to be consistent, that one day I would have a company that can employ Black people. I don't need a lot of money. I don't really usually spend much on myself. Every blue moon I will for fun, but for the most part, I buy my clothes at Walmart still. And my manager thinks she hates me for it. She's like, you need to get some nicer clothes. And she makes me do it sometimes, but most of the time I'm happy. I can go to Target and get a whole outfit and be happy. So the point at the end of the day is that when you see this sort of twisting in which you have Black people who really don't usually know what they're talking about. They haven't done any research. They didn't go back and look at thousands of hours of video. It's impossible. It's impossible to watch even I couldn't watch every video I've done because I've done so many of them. I've probably done 5 today. Umar likes to make fun of me for making so many videos, and he's right. I like to talk to Black people. But when people are twisting, and they're twisting it to sort of try to say he's making this up, he's scamming, the question is, where's the scam? Where's the scam? Like I can point to a scam. Here's a scam. Like somebody collects money and says, give me your money. I'm going to go and build a school. And then you come back and say, where's the school? And they say, well, the school ain't built yet. And then you say, well, where's my money? And they say, well, get out of here. Don't come get your money. That's a scam. That's a problem. That's a real issue. But in the Black Business School, here's how we do things. We say, we got a program. We really think it's going to help your child. We've got customer testimonials, hundreds of them, that will show you that other people have gone through it and they liked it. It doesn't cost a whole lot. It doesn't cost you more than getting your hair done, or it doesn't cost you more. My daughter sells weaves and wigs, and people pay more for her wigs and weaves than they pay for our programs. Even though our programs, a weave will last about a month or two. A program, you know, learning how to start a business at the age of 9 is going to stay with you for the next 40 years. And we do a transaction. The parents sign up at the Black Millionaires of Tomorrow program. Their child goes through the curriculum. The parents who are not happy, which doesn't happen very often, but the ones who are not happy, they email support@theblackbusinessschool.com, because we have a whole customer support team waiting for you to call. And they say, hey, I'm not happy for whatever reason. We say, no problem. Here's your money back. We're so sorry we couldn't deliver on our brand promise. Is there something else we can do for you? And those who are happy, they email us back and say, my God, I had my child in this program for a week, and they literally see the whole world differently. They're going to go see the Black Panther. Now they're asking me to take them, to help them buy some Disney stock, right? This is the stuff that we're seeing on a regular basis. Now I need to ask you, seriously, you know, when you, and I want you to watch the videos, like go and watch everything. You can go watch Yvette's videos if you want to. You know, she's a little negative for my taste, but whatever. She used to be my friend, so I'm not going to talk too bad about her. But I want you to just sort of ask yourself, like, where's the scam? Where's the scam, right? So anyway, let me keep going. Let me pull this up. Let me do this. Now, some people are even telling me, like, I don't need to do this. Like, oh, Doc, you don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to explain. No, I do. I think, you know, I think it's important. And I'm not doing it for the people that have decided in advance that they just kind of hate any Black business that they see. I'm really doing it more so for the people that don't want to believe. Like Black people have been traumatized and lied to so many times that I'm not going to be another liar. I'm not trying to be another Black person that makes you feel like you trusted the wrong person. So here's more of the video. Let's go. Let's keep fighting through it. We're gonna try to go through the whole damn thing because we got to talk about all of it. So
the best way I've found to qualify myself is if you can qualify your stuff in some type of an embarrassing moment. Do you see what I mean? Which shows that you're like, you've made it, but it doesn't sound like you're like beating your chest like
bragging. Yeah.
Yeah. So like if you can imagine the way I do it here is like our hero, our brand or whatever.
See, like that kind of flippant language, Charles, if you're watching, this is the shit that they hate. Like when you're like, our brand or whatever, it's not brand or whatever. You know, for a lot of people that, you know, that are very serious about this, you know, I'm not a brand. I don't care about being a brand. I'm not, you know, although I understand branding, I taught business for, 20 years. So I understand branding, but my goal is not to be a brand. My goal is not to be a celebrity. My goal is to be a person that makes a difference. So I want to make sure like people understand what my point of view is on this. I mean, you might have heard what he said, and he can defend what he has to say. He actually does live streams all the time. You can definitely ask him, but I can tell you what, my perception on this is. So I'm portrayed as the hero. My manager will tell me that I'm kind of reluctant on this. I'm not really a person that wants to be seen as a hero. I've told you guys, I don't believe in Black leadership and all that other stuff, but I do believe that as a scholar, I can make a contribution. And so I kind of accepted that, because my thought is, well, whatever it takes to persuade Black people to invest more deeply in our education, I'm willing to consider doing that, right? So it's almost like with your child, like if you got to trick your child into eating more vegetables, you're willing to do it, even though you don't agree with the idea of manipulation or lying to your child or anything like that. You're doing it for a good reason. So you're thinking, if I can get them to eat more vegetables, they'll be better off. And so my belief is that I know for a fact that a lot of the reason that we have so many Black people that struggle economically is because we don't understand the basics of wealth building. Even the whole predatory lending scandal that took place with Wells Fargo, if Black financial literacy was up, if our level of financial literacy was about 25% higher, I don't think the whole Wells Fargo scandal would have even been able to take place, because it's very difficult to be a predator against somebody who knows how to defend themselves. So
he has been officially certified as a racist, hater, and a loon by Bill O'Reilly.
Well, that part's true. Bill O'Reilly did call me a racist, hater, and a loon. He ain't making that shit up. He's just using that for marketing. I'm like, well, shit, it damn near got me fired at Syracuse, because those white folks were scared to death when I was on the O'Reilly Factor. They didn't know what to do with me. So I'm like, well, at least it's benefiting me now. So I didn't have no problem with that part.
So, like, do you see what it is? So, like, you see this, and I'm not saying this is the right way of doing it. This is just what we have, like, we find
Right.
this really well. So it's like, you think about it, okay, like, we're playing against all the things, right? We're throwing rocks at
Right.
enemies, we're justifying failures, we're confirming their suspicions. But then if you're someone that Bill O'Reilly has come after.
So that part about confirming the suspicions, I think that does have a deceptive tone, but at the same time, when I say I'm suspicious of something, I'm not pretending to be suspicious. I do believe deeply that there's been a conspiracy to destroy black boys. I do believe deeply that there's a conspiracy to keep black people unemployed and weak. I do believe deeply that there is a plan to keep you broke and struggling. In fact, if you want to go deeper than that, Dr. Anthony Browder and I had a good conversation in Guyana when I was flying back, where he actually said that that you have to be cautious in a movement, because he said, that whenever there's a momentum behind a movement, people start to believe in something or someone. There are people that are planted as provocateurs just to create seeds of distrust. I saw my friend Dr. Wilmer Leon is in here. He's a historian and a political scientist. I'm sure he can confirm that there have been many examples where any sort of movement that has an impact, they'll just drop somebody in there to just start a fight, or just start, making people see, someone with seeds of distrust. Now, I don't know if that's true in this case, but what I will say is that if you look amongst, like seriously, I want you to ask yourself this. If you look out here and you see all the black people that are talking on TV, all the black folks that are talking on the internet, how many of them can say, they built a school that's educating 57,000 people? Most of them can't say that. How many of them can say that they just gave $5,000 to African-centered schools and they're bringing these schools together to form a school system? Most of them can't say that. Most of them can't say that they're doing most of the things that we're doing. The books that we put out, the supporting Dr. Claude Anderson, really helping to put him on the map again and make him more visible in our space. Like, these are things that really have the potential to shift thinking in the black community. If you ever want to make white folks scared, then get your money right. Like, with the day black people as a collective become truly economically intelligent and truly understand where the money's at and how to access the resources, that's when you got to watch out. That's when, it's not inconceivable that somebody literally could come and could kill me, right? And I'm okay with that. That's why I keep my will with me, and I'm on top of everything as far as death planning, because when Dr. King really started talking about the money, that's when Dr. King was dead. So ultimately, at the end of the day, when we talk about confirming suspicions, yeah, Charles, again, he's not as emotionally connected to these ideas. So that's why it came out a little bit less than professional. But at the same time, I'm very suspicious. In fact, I'm super suspicious over the fact that all these videos miraculously are popping up everywhere, where there are people that are trying to sort of portray this false image that, you see, that guy that did 10,000 hours of video on black empowerment, he ain't nothing but he's working for the white man. This Asian guy is telling him what to do, right? Like, where is that coming from? Like, who are the people that have these YouTube channels? Why aren't they revealing themselves? Don't think that it's beyond me that this could actually be something that somebody's doing to deliberately cause some sort of, rift or whatever, right? And so I'm not going to play too much into it. And also, it doesn't keep me from taking responsibility for my part. I've told you guys from the beginning, I am not perfect. I am not a messiah. I am not a black leader. I am just a dude who's trying to do his best, and I have some expertise, and I'm trying to make sure black folks have it too, and that's what I'm trying to do. That's it. So let's keep going.
You must have made it. You see what I mean?
Yeah. That's good.
But
Yeah, so you're kind of like picked on or whatever, and that's good, man.
Yeah, so we're basically, if you can imagine, like, the two establishments we're fighting against, and we actually used two of them. The two establishments we're fighting against in African-American culture with our quote-unquote better way of, financial empowerment and entrepreneurialism is, first we're trying to show that the system is broken, like the white overboss. So this is our white overboss angle.
Gotcha.
Ain't no white man never stop you from reading a book. Ain't no white man ever stop you from starting a business. Ain't no white man ever stop you from educating your own damn kids. Ain't no white man ever stop you from doing what's right by your family. Ain't no white man ever stop you from being there for your children and being there for your family and building for your community. Ain't nobody never stopped you from that.
Yeah.
Now, that video, I'm not really sure what's comical about that, because everything I said is totally true right there. And that was not part of any sort of advertising campaign or marketing ploy. That is what I really believe. Ain't no white man never stop you from reading a book. but you got a lot of black people who don't want to read a book. You got a lot of brothers out here that ain't read a book since they were in 3rd grade. You got a lot of black people out here swearing up and down that they have no control over their destiny, and I think that it's absolutely ridiculous. And so I don't, I think that, Charles is, again, I had no idea that these conversations had been had, but Charles's perception of the white overboss was really, I think, him seeing what I was already doing for years and saying, okay, let's position this in a specific way so we can make sure the message gets through. I don't think his emotional attachment to the message was what mine was, right? So, that's that. But in a way, it's sort of like, I guess, you see somebody doing something that they really believe in, and you say, okay, let's package this in a specific way so we can convince people to engage in a specific consumer action that will help your business to succeed. Every company does something like this in the sense that marketing must happen for business to survive. So in a way, I think that what might have been going, I can't speak for him. I'll bring him in tomorrow and he can talk for himself, because I think he should answer for this stuff. He's going to have to, he's had to answer a lot of my questions as well, and I'll ask him again openly. But, without marketing properly, there really is no way for us to be able to pay all the black people that we're taking care of. There's no way for us to do that. But we never market on anything. Not a word comes out of my mouth that I cannot defend for the rest of my life. And if I say something that is not true, I will apologize for that. But every single word that comes out of my mouth, I believe all of this. So I think that, if you look at this, I compare it to when Melissa Harris Perry wrote a hit piece on Cornel West, where she took Cornel West and didn't just sort of disagree with him. It's one thing if you challenge someone's thinking, but what you can also try to do is belittle them, like make them seem like a caricature. That's what they do. That's what the Republicans do to the Democrats. Democrats do that to Republicans. And when you make someone look like a cartoon character, you effectively nullify anything that comes out of their mouth. So effectively, by using that cartoonish music and sort of playing that in the background when I'm making a very serious statement, this is the guy's effort to say, don't believe in this guy, don't believe in what he's saying, and the reason I don't take too much offense to that is because that's just what people do. But also, I'm not asking you to believe in me. I'm asking you to believe in the motherfucking message. I'm asking you to hear what I'm saying to you. And here's the thing, I don't have to tell you that the white man's got his foot on your neck. I don't have to tell you that you can actually read a book without his permission. I don't have to do those things to you. I don't have to tell you what it's like to be black in this country. You already know. I don't have to tell you what it's like to go to your job tomorrow. I'm just reminding you so that you will do what you need to do in order to move forward. And so also this other thing, this other idea that, that there's this massive scam going on and the goal is just to get money. The ironic thing about that is that to join the Black Business School doesn't cost you a penny. So I don't know how you're exploiting anybody when you say, here, it's free. This even makes the socialists happy. The socialists want to see every black business bankrupt. Yvette Carnell is pretty much in that socialist communist category, right? They don't want anything to cost anything. They'll go buy some Starbucks or they'll go buy, food at a restaurant, but they don't want to support a black business by giving them anything. So what I did was, with the team, I said, let's kill that argument by just making it free. Anybody who wants to come in, you can come in. I'm not going to stop you from coming in. Like a church, you can come on in if you want to. But once you get in, we give you a chance to kick the tires. Every single program we have, every program in our Black Money sequence, 101, 102, 103, 104, is backed by legitimate credentials. All of our people are credentialed. My PhD is real. Dr. Dutra's PhD is real. Attorney Tanya Nebo has a real law degree. Dr. Claude Anderson, his degree is real. So basically, all these programs, we allow you to run in, kick the tires, check it out, spend 30 days, don't pay a penny. And then if you like it, so it ain't me persuading you to like something that you don't like. You're not stupid. If you look at it and you're like, okay, I think this is good, and you compare it to what you got at that white university you went to, and you say, this is better for me because I'm black and these people are black and they're teaching me stuff that I never learned in school. Then that's when we say, you know what, we could really use your support. You know what, we got bills to pay. It ain't easy out here. We're trying to stay independent. If you don't mind paying a fair price for this class, we can work with you. And so at the end of the day, again, I ask anybody that will say, it's a scam is, you know, and anybody who believes what I'm saying, anybody who agrees with us already, I need you to go and take this information and just ask people this, like, where's the scam? It's free. Like, where's the scam in giving something away for free? Where's the scam in a customer engaging in business and buying a product that they're happy with? Where's the scam? If I go buy a pair of shoes and I'm happy with the shoes because I needed some shoes, did I get scammed? If I go and I'm hungry and I give you $20 for a meal and you feed me and the food was delicious, was there a scam? Does the fact that there's marketing, is that the scam? Like that they have a sign and they have, you know, a commercial that says, hey, come buy our food. Is that where the scam is? See, we gotta confront this, and I want to dissect this. I really want to dig into this, because that's why you don't have any businesses being built in the community, because everybody, you have so many people. Again, these are people that ain't built nothing, ain't got, you know, Yvette ain't got no kind of business. She begs for money on her YouTube channel, so she doesn't know anything about running a company, nothing about investing, nothing about free enterprise. So you got these people in the Black community who know nothing about economics, who know nothing about investing, who know nothing about running a business, who are telling Black people that business is the devil, that spending money on a product that you're happy with is crazy and horrible, and you're being scammed. And that's just not true. So I'm not even really speaking for ourselves. Like, we have the people that love us who are going to ride with us because they've seen it for themselves. They've gone through the programs, they loved it, their children are in the programs, and they're happy. So we're going to be fine. I'm really talking to those people, or speaking on behalf of those people who are trying to start a business, who can't get off the ground because you got every Negro within a 100-mile radius saying that there's something wrong with charging a fair price for a quality product. And that's ridiculous. Like, that's kind of sick, you know? So let me see here. I'm gonna look at some of the questions. Omar says, he looks like he has a good question. My issue is the perception that the BBS info is basic. If we don't understand the basics of business, finance, and investing, then how in the hell can you expect to learn the complex concepts? Yeah, I mean, you're right. We have basic information, we have complex information. What we have found is that we had to start with the basics to kind of help people get over their initial fear of investing. You know, a lot of people are scared of the stock market. A lot of people are scared of, you know, starting a business. A lot of people think that it's harder than it is. So we definitely start with the basics. Let's see here. Lindsay says, if Charles is loyal and cares about his relationship with the BBS, then he will publicly apologize on his own. Absolutely. Charles has agreed to do that, and I'm going to bring him in tomorrow and let him do that. Let him speak to you directly, because, you know, I think that he's had to learn a hard lesson. Like, you know, don't walk into a sacred space and not try to at least appreciate and respect the sacredness of that space. This space is very important to me. I would give my life for this. Like, I've thought about it. I said, well, I'll take a bullet for this. Yeah, I would take a bullet for this, right? And so when somebody talks about it as if it's a niche and it's just marketing, it's kind of hurtful to hear that from somebody that you that you respect. And I like Charles as a person. He's a good dude, actually, you know, but I think at the same time, you know, this is my opportunity to mentor him a little bit, because he's a few years younger than me. And give me a second, let me shut this door. You know, and he probably has a few things to learn. So let's see. Let me go down and look at some of the some more of your questions here. George says, you're a nasty mouth. So down. Oh, let's see. Let me keep going. Fred, who is the expert? Looks like y'all talking amongst yourselves. Yvette is crazy. Any sane person can see that. Well, I'll let you kind of make that judgment, make that decision. Let's see. Ricky says, I still support Dr. Boyce and believe in the Black Business School. Now Charles Wu's another story. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. And so it'll be up to you to decide how you feel about him. I will say that I've shut down a lot of the stuff that I'm doing with him, and, you know, until and unless I start to feel more comfortable with the marketing. Everything that's been done so far has been ethical. If you go and you look at, for example, the program that Charles is most directly associated with is the Digital Underground. And if you go and you ask anybody, if anybody's in the Digital Underground who's here, go ahead and say something about your experience. I will say this. Charles did, you know, he was part of the crew that helped persuade people to join, but the student satisfaction has been through the roof. They love being part of the Digital Underground. They love the recommendations. They love what they've learned. They love all of that, right? So again, when you call something it's a scam, to me, a scam is when you take people's money and you don't give them value. That's when you've been scammed. A scam is not when you, market to someone and get them to buy something that they're going to want anyway. Sometimes you got to work to convince them that this is what they really want, right? A guy has to market himself to a girl to get her to want to go out with him, right? And if she's happy, then did she get scammed? I don't know if she'd feel duped. Now, if he lied and said, "Oh, girl, I got a Bentley and I make $1 million a year and I ain't got no kids and I ain't got no diseases neither, and I'm going to medical school," and then she finds out all that stuff ain't true, then yeah, she got scammed. But if he says, "Hey girl, I dressed up real nice today, real sharp for you because I heard you like gator shoes," right? And he wears the gators because he hears she likes gator shoes, and he brings her favorite flower because he found out from her friend that she loves roses. And then she gets with this guy and she actually likes him. I don't think she would feel like she was duped. She'd say, "Thank you for putting on a good pitch. Thank you for convincing me to want to do something that is going to make me happy." So that's the criteria in my mind when it comes to the difference between a scam and not a scam. So when somebody, if you go out on YouTube or Facebook or anywhere, because people are going to keep talking, it's going to happen. Again, thank you to the trolls for hanging out, because trolls kind of sharpen your game a little bit. You'd be like, "Oh man, okay, let me go ahead and respond to this." I just want you to challenge people and say, okay, if there's a scam, where's the scam? Yeah, where did he, do you have a report that Dr. Boyce took somebody's money and didn't give it back? Because if that happens, then our customer service crew needs to know so they can make things right. I can say that we're talking about a scam. I paid Yvette Carnell a lot of money over the years. I never got anything in return except a tax, right? That made me feel scammed. That made me feel betrayed, because here I am. I did things for you that you would never do for me, that you couldn't do for me, and here you come attacking me. That's kind of a dirty thing to do. It's very hurtful when your former friend is attacking you like that. But I think at the same time, honestly, the higher level, my higher level thinking leads me to conclude that when I look back on it, Yvette was never really a happy person. I don't think Yvette feels like she is where she wants to be in her life. I don't think she feels like, I think she saw what we were doing at the Black Business School. Somehow maybe she feels like I left her behind. Maybe she feels somehow like she deserves more than what she's got. But there's like an anger, a bitterness. Like if you don't get along with somebody and you fall out, most people are pretty chill about it. They'll just walk away. There's a person that I can think of that I did stuff with about a couple years ago, and me and her fell out and we didn't talk anymore. And we just both moved on with our lives. Like I wish her well, she wishes me well, and we just kind of quietly live our lives. But it's another thing when you're moving on, you're trying to do this stuff, and you got a person who's constantly in the background chit-chatting about every single thing you're doing. That speaks to like a level of obsessiveness, a level of kind of maybe, I don't know, a mental illness, like just sort of a rage that they have that is unresolved. And so I can just say, if you check the records and my assistant has receipts, I can show you where I've given her thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And God, I wish somebody would have given me thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars when I was writing articles, because nobody paid me nothing. So anyway, let me keep going. Ariston says, I'm part of the DU. Marian's in Digital Underground. Victoria, Tiffany. Yep. See, look at this. I mean, this is what's cool. Like, my thing is also like, because I think, I don't know who said it, but somebody said, oh, well, it looks like the students aren't getting good value from joining the business school. And I'm like, what planet do you live on, dude? Like, go do your research. Like, go look at all the testimonials. Go to your Facebook page if you're Black and type in, has anybody ever tried the Black Business School? What do you think? You're going to get a lot of people that are going to come in and say, it was great. Oh, I learned more there than I learned in 4 years of college. You don't have too many Black institutions that can say that we can teach you more for free than you learned spending $200,000 going to that big white university, and they hate your ass. Those white folks ain't worried about you. So what is this? It's just stuff that people make up. But that's the environment we live in right now. We live in a political environment. We live in a political environment where people don't feel they have to tell the truth. That's it. Donald Trump told 1,001 lies when he gave the State of the Union address, and nobody's going to hold him accountable. But you know what's really interesting when I observe and I peep game on both sides? The liberals will lie their asses off. The liberals will, if you ever want to, like, there's a saying from the conservatives that says, if you ever want to confuse a liberal, just give them facts. The liberals will make shit up, distort shit, like misrepresent, like lie to the public, twist things around. They do all of that. So that's the environment they're used to operating in, where their goal is to say, we don't really actually have to provide facts to prove that you're wrong. What we do is we're just going to try to shame you and spread propaganda about you to the point where it won't even matter what the truth is anymore. All that will matter is what we've gotten people to perceive about you, right? So that's kind of what I have seen, and it's fine. It's never going to stop. And people are going to do what they're going to do. The trolls are going to keep coming, and I invite them. I want the trolls in here because I've even seen trolls get converted. I've seen people come in here ready to attack and all these other things, and then they see me at an event and they say, "Man, I thought you were first. I thought you was a con artist, man, and then I tried out with your class, man, and I actually learned a whole lot." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, why would you attack me as your brother? I'm your brother. I'm trying to help you. Like, I'm not trying to like milk you. Like just just like give me a chance, So anyway, let me see here. Somebody said Wu is an artful. He's not politically correct. That is so true. He's not culturally sensitive, but he's a good man and worked tirelessly. That's true. That is one area. See, and I don't want to be too hard in terms of how I talk about it, because I'm a little bit mad. I was a little bit mad about all of this. I was like, why are we talking about all this stuff publicly? Because people aren't going to understand it. People like the Yvette Carnells are just looking for any reason to believe that what we're doing must be some sort of mirage. And but at the same time, I have to give Charles credit for the fact that he was really in there. Like the people from the DU, who are please keep talking, because I want everybody to hear that. Even the trolls can't help but to see you. The people from the DU, basically, it's like they really got to know him. They got to like him. And I'm really, and it's hard to say this without somebody thinking you soft shoeing for the man. And believe me, I done pissed off enough white people that that I'm not really. I hope I've shown that I'm not scared of nobody. But I just want to say, like, maybe you can at least try to see if you can help him evolve, like help him grow. Like, I don't think you have to look at it like, man, fuck you, get out of here, don't come back. I don't know. I'm not telling you how to do it. You can make your decision. It'll be an individual thing. But I really saw a young guy who ran his mouth a little bit too much. I didn't really see a guy that has hate in his heart. He ate next to my mama. He sat with black people at the All Black National Convention. Most white people and Asian people are scared to death to be around that many black people. He was surrounded. He had hundreds and hundreds of black people all around him and was there to just learn, and that's what I saw with Charles. And I hope other people can kind of see it. And I'm talking to the fair-minded people. If you got a divide, you got the people over here that are going to hate you no matter what. And then you got those in the middle who don't know what to believe. And then you got those who are going to ride with you. Those who are in the middle, I'm really kind of talking to you and saying, try to just trust me when I just sort of say, just look at the evidence. Just follow the dude. Pay attention. If he says something stupid, correct him. Just try to look at it logically. That's what I would just say to you. And be fair. That's it. Just be fair. And if in fairness, at the end of the day, if you still feel offended, then fuck it. I mean, then okay, then don't mess with them anymore. So anyway, let me finish this video. I told you guys I was going to go through it. So we're going to dig right into the belly of this beast and address this whole damn thing. I want to go through this whole video. So that way you can say, I'm not trying to skirt nothing or scared of nothing. I'm not scared. I can defend everything that we do because I'm very proud of what we do. So let's keep going.
And then the second one is we're trying to fight against the gangbanger culture. So in this case, our character has also been cited as like a faggot and a bitch. We don't say that.
I'm a man.
See, now, of course, I'm not a character. And we did have that conversation. In his mind as a marketer, he sees it in that way. But when I saw it, of course, I wasn't happy about that. Now, the faggot bitch thing comes from my battle with Tyler, the Creator. If you know the rapper Tyler, the Creator, let me see if I can find, if he and Lil Wayne were doing some real coonery on for Mountain Dew. and and basically, let me see here. And basically, we got their whole deal with Mountain Dew shut down. We went after Mountain Dew for bringing in, for basically supporting genocidal lyrics, toward Black people, for supporting those who want to harm the Black community. And we got Lil Wayne's whole Mountain Dew deal killed. And I have no problem with the fact that we did that. I was very proud of that, because at that time we had a hard time getting rappers to pay attention to the Black community. Now, collateral damage in that whole situation was Tyler, the Creator. So Tyler, the Creator, wasn't happy because he worked at Mountain Dew, and they fired him too. But that's what they do. Like, if they're like, okay, we're gonna get rid of all the rappers. When they got rid of Lil Wayne, they were like, let's just get rid of all the rappers. I didn't want that to happen. I tried to talk to Tyler on the phone, but Tyler didn't want to speak to me, which was fine. And so this is where he said, let me see, I tried with Mountain Dew, but that faggot Boyce Watkins bitch fucked up the little chance that someone gave me, that then Pepsi was all scared. Okay, so basically he was saying I was a faggot and a bitch. And I don't regret anything, because the problem though was that Lil Wayne had really disrespected Emmett Till. Lil Wayne had said some things about Emmett Till, where he basically said in a lyric that that when I have sex with a woman, her vagina looks like Emmett Till's face. And I was very offended. Jesse Jackson called me, and we did a conversation about it. And I didn't really know what to do, to really go after this guy. So what I did was, I said, here's how you get those sons of bitches. You chop them off at the knees. We go after Mountain Dew, because you shouldn't be putting money in the hands of a person that is so blatantly disrespectful to the Black community. So the beef was really between me and Lil Wayne. It wasn't Tyler, the Creator, but Tyler was offended for obvious reasons, and I didn't intend for him to lose his deal. And if I talked to him, I would have mentored him a little bit on how to manage that. But of course, when people feel like you cost them money, they're not really gonna hear much of what you have to say. So that's kind of what happened there. Now, so that's what he's talking about when he says the faggot and the bitch. That's what he means. So that now they, I guess, are making fun of another video I did. But again, I was being very serious when I said this. So here it is. Damn it.
Like, they're buying hope, and they're only using like a base level of features, if that makes any sense. Like, most people like don't get into like let's say your training has like,
they don't use it.
yeah, they just like buy it to like feel good. So I'm not saying the training isn't useful, but what different, like if I were to look at like Facebook marketing courses, right?
Yeah.
Facebook marketing courses, on the pinnacle of what I've seen lately is a guy that I'm friends with, I'm in his group. His name is Tim Bird, and he's got this like Facebook ad buyers group. And he is currently, if you look here, I don't know if it's here or not, he's got his group. Wait, oh, sorry, this is a different one. This is when I posted something in his group. He sells his mastermind, and it's 10 grand to spend like 2 days with him, on his mastermind. So like here he is talking about his mastermind and stuff like that. And, here it is. If you look at this, in his group, everyone's like, oh, this thing is the fucking greatest thing in the world. Let me sign up for it. Blah, 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 blah. Right? Oh, looks good. I want to do this. Oh, this is sold out. I want to do the London one or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Now, what separates him, and I'm not saying he isn't knowledgeable, but if I go to like Udemy, right? And on Udemy, I search like Facebook ads mastermind.
Yeah. I have courses on Udemy.
Yeah, like I can buy the same course for like $10.
Oh my gosh.
Or conceptually, I'm not saying it's Tim's course.
Right.
I can buy like, look at this. Advanced Traffic and Conversions Mastermind 2017. I don't even know who Tio Vagno is or whatever, but this course, is being sold for $15.
Right.
While this course is being sold for, $10,000 per seat or whatever, and people are selling out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the difference really is Tim, because he's built a community of 48,000 people. He's established himself as a guru. He's branded himself properly. He is ultimately what we're all selling is hope. Yeah. But the origin story shifts each time.
Yeah.
And it's all going around. So like, for example, what I'm working with Boyce
Now, before we get into that, let's back up and talk about this. Again, selling hope. I don't think there's anything wrong with hope being the reason that somebody makes an investment in something. Again, I told you, I make every investment I make, everything I buy pretty much is connected to hope. Hope in itself is not a bad thing. It is false hope that's the problem. It is hope that is not fulfilled, right? So, you might invest in my class because you're hoping to become a better investor, because you're hoping to improve the plight of your family. But so the question is, does that actually happen? So if it doesn't happen, then that's when we want to give you your money back. If you don't feel that what you did in the Black Stock Market program benefits you, then we have the 30-day money back guarantee. Or if you feel that the hope that you have that I'm going to deliver something of quality to you hasn't been fulfilled, then you should get your money back, right? And that's why you make sure that whatever you're selling, whatever you're transacting in is an ethical product that people are actually going to benefit from that. So with my program, now this guy that he's talking about sells $10,000 masterminds. Now you go to the Black Business School, and I think I can pull this up. You're not going to find a single program in the Black Business School that costs $10,000. You're not going to find anything there that is in that premium product space, because I personally don't buy $10,000 masterminds unless the only exception. So you look at the Black Business School. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can actually show you guys what it looks like from the outside, so you can kind of see it. So if you go to the Black Business School, and I'm not the only person who is a part of the Black Business School. We have a whole team of about 20-something people, I think. But if you go to the Black Business School, so you go here, our motto is don't climb the corporate ladder, build one. So that's hope, absolutely. Our belief is that we can help you to fulfill a destiny in which you hope to become a person that doesn't have to climb the corporate ladder. You're able to actually build a corporate ladder and that other people can climb. That's why we exist. That's what we do. So if you read here, it says, obtain a culturally relevant, high-quality education in all things wealth building and Black business creation, all for a fraction of the cost of a college degree. That's part of our brand promise. That's one of our things that makes us unique. We give you Black people teaching you, and they're teaching you at the fraction of a cost of a college degree. So it would probably be strange if I turned around and said, here's a class that costs $10,000, right? The most expensive class that we have is we have the 48-hour business school that costs about $3,000, and that's because we give an extensive amount of support and staffing, and we actually lose money on the 48-hour business school. So we don't even make a profit on the things that cost a little more money. And also, that's actually our most highly rated program. That's the program that people love the most. That's the one that actually got 100% approval last time we ran it. So, and also it takes time. We have to fly people out. It costs us, let's say, for example, we make $35,000 on a 48-hour business school session. We'll spend like $40,000 between getting the hotel, flying people out, staffing it up, all this stuff. So this is really a cool education for you on what it takes to kind of run a business and how things kind of work behind the scenes. Now, let's keep going. So if you look down, we have programs based on what your interest is. So are you interested in starting a business, generational wealth, or investing? If you're interested in investing, let's see, I think I haven't clicked on this. So I guess we click on it. Here we go. So we got the stock market program. It comes with 2 extra courses. It's a 2-course bundle. It's $89 a month. So now $89 a month, again, I don't know where the scam is in that. Because I've seen people spend $89 going to the movies. Like you take your family to see Black Panther. If you buy 3 tickets for your kids, 1 for your spouse, 5 tickets at $15 a pop, you're going to drop $75 on your tickets. And then you go to the concession stand, you're probably going to drop another $40 because all the popcorn and stuff costs a lot of money. So you're going to spend over $100 going to see a movie that gives you no long-term economic value. Now, in the Black Stock Market program, though, if you go down and you look at this and you look at the curriculum that's offered, just look at how much content we give you. And this is stuff that you can't get at a university. There's no university on this planet that's going to give you this much content. This is literally so much stuff that you can't get through it all. It's literally that much stuff that's going to really change your life. And best of all, it actually we give you the first month free, and we throw in 2 extra classes. So we pretty much, our main objective, if you want to know kind of our sales process for a lot of things, is to kind of over deliver. And the reason we over deliver a lot of times is because there's like this insecurity that you deal with, because Black people are so skeptical of anybody who doesn't give something away for free. And our whole position was like, we can't give everything away for free because our bills are over $100,000 a month. So can we get Black folks to invest a little bit of money in their own education, the same way they'll invest a lot of money in hair weaves and sneakers and going to the movies and paying for the University of Texas to get a degree that may or may not get them a job. You know, most people, a lot of people that are watching right now are $50,000, $100,000 in debt from a college degree where they weren't charging you $89 a month. They didn't give you the first month free. They didn't give you a 30-day 100% money back guarantee. They didn't give you a Black professor. They didn't give you a professor that actually knows how to run a business. We give you all of that for almost nothing. So if you want to call that selling hope, yeah, I guess it is. You know, you have to sell something. No business runs unless you sell something. You have to convince the consumer to participate. And then hope has to be attached, because hope is a motivator. Hope will get you moving and get you to actually do something. So my goal is to transact on hope, to kind of say, look, I think I know a solution to your problem. If you ever want to have a good business, find a problem and find a solution. So my hope proposition to everybody, every Black person I see, it's easy to make. I can make it to anybody, even people who hate me. I can make it laid out like this. Look, you have a problem. If we can help you solve this problem, will you be willing to invest a fraction in us of what you invest in all these other people that don't care anything about you? You know, you make $1,000 a week or $800 a week. You spent, $800 on a lot of things that, that from companies that don't care anything about you, that aren't giving you anything that's going to matter to you in the long haul. You spend $300 a month on your car note, and your car's value is dropping by about 25% a year. Why not consider putting a fraction of that into one of our programs and join us in this movement, so that you will have tools that will benefit you and your family for the next 200 or 300 years. That's our simple sales proposition. So as Charles is speaking now, again, with this digital marketing stuff, the guy that works for the Budgetnista, Tiffany Aliche, he's really, really good. He's good like Charles. And they, in their whole world, they have a lot of these super premium programs that cost thousands and thousands of dollars, and they're not really delivering a lot of value. I've never wanted to do that, because as a professor, I've just always felt that it shouldn't cost a whole lot of money to be educated. The only time we start charging more money is when you're asking for more of our individualized time. So if you want me to sit and talk to you directly one-on-one, yeah, that's going to cost you. My one-on-one consulting fee is $500 an hour. Tariq Nasheed charges $500 an hour for a one-on-one. Why? Because we don't really want people to want a one-on-one, because it takes a lot of time. But in general, that's kind of the layout. That's the big chunk of the business model. So let me keep going and kind of show you more of the video, so you can kind of see, so we can kind of talk more about it.
This is who I'm working with on the, African American market. When our origin story is kid-based, if you see any
different target, different customer, yeah.
Yeah, well, when we're selling to, we have actually got two entrepreneurial products. One is an entrepreneurial product for an adult. The other is an entrepreneurial product for a parent to have their kids use, and what we're, and it's different. For the adult, it's get the side hustle so that, you can get off the corporate plantation.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from the Black Business School and the Black Wealth Boot Camp. One of the big death traps that we push people into is that trap of sort of feeling like you have to give your whole life to the corporate plantation, or, and also feeling like, when you're not at the plantation, you're supposed to be chilling,
So I don't know. I'm not really sure why the creators of the video highlighted that. I want to make sure that it's abundantly clear that I've been talking about the corporate plantation many years before I knew who Charles Wu was. Charles Wu saw that I talked about it, and he saw that it resonates with people. And I said the reason it resonates with Black people is because every Black person knows what the hell I'm talking about. When we created financialjuneteenth.com, if you go back, you'll see we created that about 2012, 2013. Financial Juneteenth was an easy title for a website because everybody instantly knew what I was talking about. I've been very, very big and very, very consistent for many, many years on explaining to you something that's really important, which is that if you don't have your economic freedom, you're going to keep getting kicked around on the corporate plantation by this white man. That, many of us have gone through that. My own revelation came from the fact that I worked for people who didn't like me. And so, the play on the term corporate plantation, I don't know if this creator of the video, again, he won't show it. He should show his face and reveal himself. He's probably a coward and scared to do that. But I think that this person should explain, like, what's wrong with that terminology? What's wrong with talking about that? I don't see anything, I think that there's a solution here. I think that there's a way to fix that problem. I think the plantation's real. If you have experienced the corporate plantation, please raise your hand and tell me you know what I'm talking about. I'm not making this up, and I'm not saying this to convince you of something that you don't already know. You already know what it's like to be on the corporate plantation. So again, it feeds back into the interesting narrative. The simple narrative is Dr. Boyce isn't real. He, all this 10,000 hours of video he's done over the last decade, it's all a fraud. An Asian guy is in the background telling him what to say. And in fact, the funny thing is that video I think was done even before I even met Charles Wu. So it's a propaganda sort of thing. It's kind of how you sort of position things, but I can't affect how people position things. I can only say that, I can't, the corporate plantation is real. So what's your point? All right. So anyway, let me keep going. Let's keep going through the video. Not supposed to be doing anything of value or of relevance for your life. Maybe you're supposed to sit around drinking, the whole weekend or just whatever. And I just found that I've always found it to be really strange.
For the kid and the parent is do the side hustle or learn to start a business, not to make money. The goal is to make money, but we're trying to offer an alternative to football and basketball, which is going to give you head injuries or selling drugs. You see what I mean? But do you see how the origin story shifts?
Yeah, it totally does, man.
So let me ask you this. I need you to raise your hand if you know this. Do you think that it's a problem in our black community that we have too many black boys that want to grow up dribbling basketballs, throwing footballs, rapping, slinging, and thugging? Like, is that an issue? Is that not an issue that we have too many of our black boys that that literally never even engage in any sort of consistent intellectual endeavor, like reading books or doing things that are going to better their lives? That is a huge problem. So when I talked to Charles and everybody else in the marketing team, I said, here's our issue. I said, we got a whole lot of people that don't understand how the community loses by virtue of the fact that our most talented people, especially the men, are being sucked into all these other options and choices that are not going to put them where they want to be. They don't understand that it's much easier to become wealthy as an entrepreneur than it is to become wealthy as an athlete. They don't understand that, only 1 in 10 million people gets to be LeBron James. But if you look at entrepreneurs, pretty much 100% of the top 10% of all entrepreneurs become millionaires. But 99% of the top 10% of basketball players never make a penny playing basketball. So while you might be offended that this Asian guy comes from outside the community and notices this, you need to look at yourself. We need to look at our own people and just realize, that's what we do. That's what's wrong with us. That's why that's why your daughter can't find nobody to marry, because the guy she's trying to marry spent all these years dedicating his life to a football career that was never going to exist. So this is a real issue. This is a real problem. Now, again, I don't know why that is offensive to the mystery person who made the video. Maybe Yvette made the video. Who knows? I don't know. But it's not as if it's not true, And so I think that speaks to how we as black people get offended when people point out the obvious in our behavior. When people point out and they say, well, why do you people always do that? Why won't you support your own businesses? Why do you only go and try to work for white people? Why do you put yourselves in these situations? Sometimes we do that. Doesn't mean that we always do that, but there are times I know a lot of black people who are in bad situations economically. And when I went to those same people and said, just learn some financial literacy, just learn how to start a business, learn how to invest a little bit. Did you invest a little bit? And they invested in Popeye's chicken. They invested in True Religion jeans. They invested in in going out to the club, but ain't nobody investing in the stock market, and then they wonder why they're broke. So really, that part, I don't really know what the issue is with that part of the video. I'm serious. So let's keep going.
Yeah, so like the first origin story is for the adults starting entrepreneurship is Boyce was a professor. He spent, years at Syracuse, did all the right things, got his PhD, got, a bunch of undergraduate degrees, got on tenure track. And then what happened is he got in a tiff with Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly went after him. And then, luckily, he lost tenure, but luckily he had his side business and he was able to do that full time. You see what I mean?
So what he's saying right there is exactly what I did actually tell him. I said, I was at Syracuse University. I dealt with racism. I got tired of it. And this is how I solved that problem. So if you're starting a business, if you go through a tough situation and you come out on top and you develop a unique skill as a result of overcoming whatever situation you're dealing with, you do have something that could form the foundation of your business. So a lot of what formulates a lot of my brand and what I do, if you want to call it a brand, is the fact that that I did something a lot of people haven't done. I have a PhD in finance. It's very hard to get. Also, I figured out how to quit my job. So in the Black Wealth Bootcamp, that's what I teach people how to do. Here's how I quit my job. Here's how I was able to overcome being a black boy in Kentucky dealing with racism. Here's how I was able to figure it out. And here's proof that I've actually succeeded in doing that. And so, again, I think people that don't understand business, they somehow, I guess they really think black people are never supposed to do business, that we're supposed to just yell and scream and holler about the way the man's treating us, but not think about any sort of way to develop constructive solutions to these problems. So ultimately, I don't really know what to do with those people. I really don't. I don't know what to do with a person who is very good at trying to destroy things, but not good at building anything. I dare any of these individuals who have something to say to come and show me any institution that you've developed in the black community that is helping tens of thousands of black people. Show me any situation in the black community you've created that is creating black jobs. Show me any situation where you've actually constructed a meaningful, relevant solution that can help us educate black children. Because I've done that. I've done that. We've educated thousands of black kids. We educate tens of thousands of black adults. We employ and we pay the salaries of dozens of black people. Even our greatest adversary, Yvette Carnell, can say, she can't lie and say that we didn't give her tens of thousands of dollars. We helped her pay bills when she couldn't pay the rent. So we've even helped our enemies. There's no better way to say that what we're doing is right and that it's working than to say, look at the proof. So anyway, let me keep.
That's origins. Origin story with the kids is, hey, him and his daughter, he's divorced.
That's right.
He's only seeing her like every other weekend and everything. He wants a way to bond with her, but they don't really have much to talk about. And doing the internet business gives them that common activity where, the parent bonds with the kid, and then the kid also gets the other benefits of, like, she didn't get into, like, bad activities. Do you see what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly. Position yourself. Let me go back to this. Position yourself against the gangbanger culture. Abso-fucking-lutely. Position your child against the gangbanger culture. Anybody that can give you a solution that will keep your child from being like these other dumb knuckleheads out here in the street that can't read to save their life, can't add up 8 + 5, can't do anything that's going to help them survive in this world, you should be very happy to participate in that. And so if somebody comes along and they say, I can help you make sure your child gets away from the bullshit and it's going to cost you $1,000, you would be a fool not to do it if you know that it's going to actually work. So again, I'm not talking about the gangbanger thing. I don't know where that comes from. I'm not dissing anybody that's in a gang, but what I am trying to say is that the culture out here for our kids is really fucked up. Like, if you want to, seriously, like, let me just show you guys. Like, look, like, look at some of these rappers, like, and listen to what they're saying. Look at how they're living their lives in a very self-destructive, really messed up kind of way. I mean, these are really screwed up people, you know, and the thing is that these people are influencing our kids and they're teaching them how to die. That's all they're doing. They're teaching our children how to die. And I personally think we should be offended by that. I think that if someone has a business that's wrapped around the idea of making Black children better, that's a wonderful thing. Like Black and Married with Kids, they have a business model that pretty much is built around convincing people to keep their marriages together. What is wrong with that? You got business models designed to teach you to buy the next cell phone, to teach you to buy this ink pen, to teach you to buy this napkin, business models to teach you to buy this glass, a business model that sold you this cell phone case, a business model that's selling you this book, that's selling you this shirt. Like everything has a business model. So what's wrong with having a business model that's going to build better black children? If we do that, then we'll have better Black children, because you got business models designed to build Black thugs. You got business models that are manufacturing shitty ass niggas that want to go out here and kill other Black people. So why shouldn't you have a business model designed to manufacture economically intelligent kids? Why shouldn't you have a business model designed to build strong families? Why shouldn't you have a business model designed around the idea that every family should gather around the fire every Sunday and talk about how they can build wealth? What's wrong with that? And why would you, your cooning ass, want to destroy something like that? What's wrong with you? You're sick. It's a mental illness. It's a betrayal at the highest level, and I'm not tolerating any of that stuff. It's ridiculous. So anyway, let me keep going. Let me play more of the video.
Bad activities. Do you see what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they're still both origin stories. They're focused on different dominoes. And why it works is he finishes his 3 secrets, and then he says, "Let me ask you a question." And he says it. He doesn't say it in. This is like the summary of what he's saying. If you followed what I showed you in the first secret, and then this happened, and then you did what I showed you in the second secret, and you got Y. And then we used secret number 3, what I taught you in secret number 3, to get Z, and you maybe even only got half of these. Don't you think you would be successful? And then he goes in the Venus factor thing of, well, you know, okay, you might not make, you know, $30,000 a day or $10,000 that's in life, but what if you kind of like fucked it up and you got, you know, a tenth of that, you know, 5,000 a day or 1,000 a day? Would that change your life? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how he steps back, because what that creates is he creates in the audience, like the person watching, he creates in your head that, hey, this is so easy. I could do this. This is different than what I've been doing before. And even if I fuck this up, I can still be successful. So now I believe I can be successful. And then they've emotionally said, I will buy.
Okay. So let's dissect this video. First things first that I will say to you is that the part about buying being emotional, that is absolutely 100% completely true. One of my greatest mentors of all time was Dr. Tommy Whitler. And Dr. Whitler, who is a consumer behavior expert, who is one of the world's leading authorities on why people buy products, will tell you in a second that most of the purchasing that you do is driven by emotion. So my thinking is, you know what? I want Black people to get emotional about education. I want Black people to get as excited about educating their kids as we get excited when the Electric Slide song comes on and everybody feels like they got to jump up on the dance floor. I want us to be as excited, you know, about creating empowering kids as we are about, you know, about when our favorite football team won. A lot of us are watching the Super Bowl. I'm not clowning you if you're watching the Super Bowl, but remember, we're supposed to be boycotting, right? Everybody forgot about that. I want us to be as excited about that as we are about music, you know, as we are about Beyonce's twins, as we are about drama, like, you know, the Charles Wu controversy and, you know, Umar versus Tariq or whatever. I want us to be as excited about education as we are about everything else. Because if you want to know the solution for Black people, the biggest solution we can come up with is one where we apply all of our emotional energy that we use for church and for television and for sports, and apply that to economic education and financial literacy. There's nothing wrong with what was said toward the end of that video. If you want to peep game and understand how you've got these white boys out here making $1 million a month online. I went to a conference like that with white guys that were 25 years old who were making $1 million a month. And if you want to understand that, go study some of these concepts. Go study marketing. Go study, just make sure it's ethical. Make sure that whatever you sell, that it has the quality that you promise. If it doesn't have the quality you promise, you should give the consumer their money back. But, I think that, what's interesting, there was really nothing. I was waiting to see a smoking gun at the end of that video, and I didn't see anything because he said so easy that we can do it. And I don't think Charles was saying so easy that a dumb monkey nigga can do it. He didn't say that. He said so easy that anybody can do it. And what he was doing was basically taking this concept and saying, don't be scared. Don't be scared to try. Even if you do it wrong, you're probably still going to benefit from educating your child on economics versus not educating them at all. So the end part, again, I wasn't particularly happy and comfortable with being used as a case study. Again, we had a talk about that, and I told him that wasn't cool. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you, like, this is what has to occur. This is what's being done to sell you unhealthy products. And again, it's not the method that's the problem. It's what they're selling that's the problem. They're using this to get you to go buy cigarettes, to go buy, Ciroc, whatever it is, whatever liquor you're drinking. I am basically like, well, if we're going to be duped and buy consumer products and spend money, why not dupe ourselves into investing into things that are going to make us better? Why not go ahead and spend money on things that are going to benefit our community? Now, somebody says, can you teach me to cry on cue? And that's really funny, Drew. No, I don't know how to cry on cue. I've never cried on cue. But you can teach me how to troll on cue. So please hang out, brother. I'm glad you're here. Let me pull up. Let's see. Michelle, my manager, sent me a video called "How to Sell to the Negro."
It's actually pretty simple.
I don't really want to show the video, Michelle. We'll talk about that later. I'd actually rather go to bed because my voice is kind of disappearing. Let's see. David says Boyce did not show y'all the whole video. Actually, I did. There's no more of the video left. Michelle says, take responsibility. You brought him in. Yes, I did. And I take full responsibility. And we've helped educate a lot of Black people because of that. And I'm very happy about that. What I encourage you to do, Liz, Michelle, if you're here to troll, like, just do your job and be a little dirty troll. But if you're here to actually figure out the truth, go ask on your page. I'm sure you got Black people that are around your page. Ask them, say, have you joined any of the Black business school programs? And what was your experience like? Because if you look at the top of this feed, you'll see at the top that I have a lot of testimonials up there, and there are more where that came from. If you go to the internet, you go to YouTube, you'll find all kinds of videos. In fact, let me see if I can actually show you guys my YouTube channel, because this is great. Like, I love it when people ask me about our school and about the programs, because it gives me a chance to show, like, what we built is really great. So if I was scamming, if I was trying to hide something, like if I had y'all give money to a GoFundMe account for a school that ain't going to be built, then yeah, I would get real defensive. But I'm not defensive about this shit. Let's talk about it, motherfuckers. Let's do it. I should stop cussing. That's so bad. I know I promised not to cuss. But let's do it. Let's pop in here. So Miss Love, the troll, I need you to stay. Don't go nowhere. So I want you to watch this video. This is a video from the 48-Hour Business School. So all trolls, like, just calm down for a minute. I want you to watch this video. And of course, I know you're still going to hate because you decided you're going to do that, and there's not much I can do to change your mind. But when you go to bed tonight, you're going to say, well, maybe, shit, I hate that motherfucker, but maybe he actually said something that's true. So anyway, so check this out. I want you to watch this video real quick. This is one of our programs. These are real people. We didn't pay them to say any of this.
Welcome to the 48-Hour Business School.
My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I'm the founder and CEO of the 48-Hour Business School, which is an extension of the Dr. Boyce Watkins Academy.
Good morning, Black people. Good morning.
What we wanted to do was have a space where you could get over the hump, where those dormant ideas that you haven't executed,
can be birthed into reality.
So far, I've had an astounding experience here at the Black Business School. I've met so many like-minded people. I'm learning so much new information, ways to grow my business and to sustain it.
I've been going to Boyce Watkins Business School, taking some classes, learning things about financial literacy and stock. I'm actually starting a security business myself. So when I saw this come across how to learn from Boyce Watkins, I thought this would be a wonderful opportunity.
The way you know that you're truly competitive is when people are coming to try to take what you got.
I can honestly say this is incredible. So much information, even some of the smallest detail that I have missed.
If you can identify the needs, then you can create a sustainable business.
But I think I've learned so much, and I wish I could have done this 10 years ago. I'd probably been rich by now.
There's actually more women opting into entrepreneurship than there are men.
I got a lot of information from this weekend, and I came here to tweak my business, to have a strategy, a system, and a focus for profitability.
Power without having the courage to use that power means absolutely nothing. It's as if it never existed, because you're not defined by what you are. You're not defined by what you could have been. You're defined by what the hell you do. You are defined by what you do. We kick you in the butt. You know, we sit you down with our team of experts so that they can really push people, you know, to make their business real.
If you need persuasion and investing in yourself, there goes a problem right there. You know, a lot of people invest in a lot of things and not themselves. I think this is a wonderful opportunity to invest into yourself, invest into your brand. Sometimes I think we have to take a step back and really make sure we're building ourselves. And this is definitely a place where you can come, invest and build yourself.
I graduated from the 48-hour business school.
All right, so that's one example. And let me see here. Let me see if I can find another one. Because I think it's important. I mean, you should know if you've got scam artists in your community. I call them out all the time. So it only makes sense that I will fully defend everything that we do. And so anyway, the key idea here is that, you know, I kind of want to encourage you that, and again, I'm not really talking so much. I mean, the trolls, I'm glad you're here. I hope you stay. But everybody else, you know, you have a right to kind of question and wonder what's going on. And I encourage you to do that. And I encourage you to also, you know, join the Black Business School for free and give it a try, you know. And then if somebody says, oh, well, well, you know, this is a scam, then I need you to just sort of ask yourself, does it look like a scam? It looks like a quality product at an affordable price. It's among the best in the world in what we do. We're very good at what we do. So let me see. I'm gonna read something. Let's see here. You owe me 2 Bitcoins for all that swearing. You know what? I'm gonna go and give away $50 worth of Bitcoin tonight, since I did all the talking. Michelle Love says, "Poor guy." I don't know what that means. Freedom in Free World International. The positive passion's real. Absolutely. This is real. This is who I am. Life is too short to be faking. Omar, some of us Black folks are too damaged to understand what this man's talking about. For us thinkers, we will be with your voice. Absolutely. I've always made it very clear that I don't have enough patience to try to save all the Black people. I can't do it. It's too much. It's too big of a job. The white man done ripped too many of y'all's heads wide open. So what I believe is this: people respect power. Like I was saying in that video, look, you know, the way you know you've accomplished something is when people try to come and get what you got. When they throw darts at your head, that's when you know that you become a formidable obstacle in their pathway or whatever it is. And so what I believe is that after this generation's done, what's going to happen is that, you know, us and our children are going to build some multi-billion-dollar companies. And in a generation, their children are going to catch up. Their children are going to be the product of the failed policies of their parents. Their children are not going to be able to survive economically. they're going to be drowning. They're going to get their asses kicked by white supremacy. And they're going to come to your kids for a job. And when that happens, your child will be ready to hire them and to bring them in and forgive them. There's no reason to stay mad, you know. So ultimately, at the end of the day, there is there's tremendous possibility here. I always say that the people I speak to are what I call the talented 20th or talented 10th, if you want to call it that. And by talented, I mean people that want to build something. The people that don't want to build, or that want to destroy, or want to assimilate, or want to just sort of sit back and not do anything but complain, I don't really have a space for them. I don't know what to do with those people. But what I want to do is encourage those of you who really want to do something different. Like, please come and do it, you know. So why did I do this video? I did this video because I wanted to just kind of talk about it. I think it's interesting, you know. It's like this big scandal and everybody's talking about it. So nobody talks more than me, so why not? This ain't the time for me to be quiet. Shit, let's talk about it. I'll bring Charles in tomorrow. Let him talk about it too, you know. And that's that. It is what it is. Gervais, is the crypto course free? No, but we have one that's very, very inexpensive. So go to theblackbusinessschool.com, sign up for free, and look up the crypto class. The crypto class costs us money because we had to pay money to get Lamar Wilson, who is one of the leading crypto experts on the planet, and he wasn't free. So to pay our faculty, there's a small fee. But at a university, you're going to pay $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for a class if they even offer it. Lamar's class, I think, is about $350. But in crypto, we have students that, please say your name if you're in that category. We have crypto students that have made thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars from their crypto investment. So when you're thinking about whether or not you want to learn a skill or want to pay money to learn a skill, my question is not how much does it cost. My question is, what am I going to lose if I don't pay this small cost? You know, so if I avoid paying $300 to learn how to start a business, and starting a business can make me $300,000, then effectively what's happened is I've allowed my small-minded thinking to constrain me. You know, you shouldn't be looking at what something costs. You should be looking at what the benefit is. That's an investor mindset. An investor doesn't think about how much money he's putting out. The investor's thinking, well, how much money will I bring in once I put it all out? When I started my business, I was putting out tens of thousands of dollars. And I wasn't balling like that. I didn't have a lot. I was drawing from my retirement account. And I spent the money generously because I wasn't focused on how much it cost. I was focused on how much the benefit was going to be if this thing worked out. So ultimately, when you talk about the difference between the people that are in the top 10% versus the people that sit and complain about the top 10%, go study millionaires. Go study how millionaires think. Most millionaires have a whole different mindset when it comes to money than a lot of regular people. The Yvette Carnell types, they don't know anything about how to make millions of dollars. They'll never know. They only know how to complain about the people that have something, because politically what we're trained to do is dehumanize and attack those who have things that we wish that we had for ourselves. So they can't really tell you how to do what they did. They can only say, well, he must be scamming, he must be lying, or that person over there, he must be, he must be stealing from people. When the reality is that, no, he didn't do none of that. He just invested in the stock market and you didn't. He just learned how to start a business and you didn't. All you know how to do is go out and beg for money, And so ultimately, if you learn, there's a difference between the person who knows how to fill out the form for an LLC versus somebody who only knows how to fill out a job application. Those two people are going to have very different economic outcomes, and it just starts from perspective. So get the right perspective, And so I'm about to get on out of here, guys. My voice is almost gone, as you can tell. I've been struggling for a couple of days. But thanks for all your questions. Thanks for hanging out. And right before I go ahead and give me your Coinbase email address, and I'll send somebody $50 worth of crypto. And that's just my thank you to those of you who want to hang out. Even the trolls can compete. So if you have a Coinbase account, even if you're a troll, go ahead and put your Coinbase email address in here. If you win, I'll send you the crypto too. Because they have that stuff in the Bible about trying to love your enemies, and it's hard to love y'all motherfuckers, but I'm gonna do it because I'm a man like that. So so you're welcome here, and I hope you'll keep trolling my page. I'm happy to have you. All right. So so give me your Coinbase email address, and I'm going to give somebody $50 worth of Bitcoin right now. I'm gonna do it right now. Let's see. Damon says, "I love your passion. Thank you." Well, I love you, Damon. I appreciate you for hearing me out, man. You know, all I need is for people to hear me out. I don't even really need people to agree with me or put me on a pedestal. Shit, if you think I'm perfect, then that's a damn lie. I'm not perfect. I will fuck up many, many times. But at the end of the day, don't you say I'm not doing my best for black people, because I am doing that. That much I can stand by. All right. So the winner is Mrs. Boogie at ymail.com. Mrs. Boogie, I didn't catch your name, sister, but go ahead. And somebody said, wait, somebody says you owe me. Wait, who said I owe you? Wait, who says you owe me? If I owe you and you won and you didn't get it, because sometimes maybe it just doesn't go through. If you think if I do owe you, then send me a personal note and I'll pass it over and we'll check to make sure you won, and I'll send it to you. It wasn't delivered. But Mrs. Boogie at Ymail, please give her a digital congratulations. Hit the like button, thumbs up button, share button, subscribe button. Share this video with everybody, because everybody needs to see this. You know, everybody needs to see. You know, we went through this Charles Wu video, broke it down. Everybody needs to see what I have to say about this. Because, you know, if I'm a person that calls out the frauds in the community, I called out Angela Rye because I met Angela Rye at an event in Oklahoma. Angela Rye was a complete bitch to everybody she interacted with, and I called it out on social media, and I verified it, and I said it to her publicly on social media. You need to apologize to those people, because you can't go disrespecting the people who support you. What you did was unprofessional, and it was freaking rude, you know, and you hurt people's feelings. You can't do that. So if I'm going to call out people, then shit, who am I to say somebody can't call me out? So if you call me out, then fine. Let's talk it out, motherfucker. Let's lay it out here on the table and let's figure this shit out. Let's figure out if Boyce is a fraud, if Boyce been lying, if Boyce is making stuff up. Shit, if he's making it up, then I need to know so I can go get his ass too. That's it, point blank, period. I ain't scared of none of you motherfuckers, so bring it on. And I don't mean to cuss. Y'all have to forgive me for cussing, but y'all know how I am. That's what I do. I'm the cussing professor who loves black people, and I stand by every single word that has ever been uttered out of my mouth. Point blank, period. I'm out of here. Y'all have a good night. I love you guys. Talk to you soon. Peace.